Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and I am back. I know it's been a few days, like I said before, I was sick during those last two reviews for the 12 Days of Christmas Challenge. I came down with a really pretty bad, I believe it was a fever I had. It was chills, and I was feeling hot, weak muscles. My neck was killing me, like sore neck, sore throat, blowing my nose. I mean, it was a whole big mess, huge mess. So, after those few reviews, I took some time off, taking some Tylenol, getting some rest, things like that. So, I am now back. I am back to 100%, which I'm really glad for, because right now it is Christmas Eve, and tomorrow's Christmas. So hope all of you have a Merry Christmas out there, to everybody out there. And I figured, it's that time of the year once again. I've seen all the movies I wanted to see this year, and I figured it's time to do my lists for my best and worst. So I figured these lists will probably go into multiple parts, because I have a lot of ones to get through. Because I couldn't do like 10 movies, I had to do 30. Because I've seen a lot of movies this year, but I didn't see the bad ones in theaters. I saw the good ones in theaters I wanted to see. I didn't see the bad ones. I waited for the bad ones, and I watched them on TV. But anyways, I figured I would give you guys my top 30 favorite movies of 2018. So I figured, let's get on to the list, and then after that, I'll do my top 30 worst movies of 2018. Now, before we get on to my top 30, I know, Lisa, you did your top 10 best and worst. Did a really good job on those. I still need to comment on those, but you did a good job on those lists, and I figured I'd give you my top 30. So I hope you guys are out there or will enjoy this list, and here we go. Now, of course, before we get to the top 30, I have some honorable mentions that I wanted to get out of the way, so that way I wouldn't leave them off. But my honorable mentions are The Commuter, Annihilation, Isle of Dogs, Ready Player One, Blockers, Beirut, Traffic, Tully, Bad Samaritan, Upgrade, Sicario, Day of the Soldado, Uncle Drew, First Purge, Sorry to Bother You, Mission Impossible Fallout, Christopher Robin, The Hate U Give, Suspiria, the remake, and the last one I have is Overlord. Those are the ones that didn't quite make my top 30, but I figured I'd mention those as honorable mentions. Now, let's get on to the top 30, or my top 30 favorite movies of 2018. So, coming in at number 30 would be Hotel Artemis. Really enjoyed this one a lot. I thought it had a really cool story. It was one of the first films I've seen Jodie Foster in quite some time. I know Jodie Foster hasn't really done a movie in a while. It was really cool seeing Jodie Foster. You also had you had Sofia Boutella from The Mummy. You had Dave Bautista. You had a lot of people in this one. I thought it was just a really cool, kind of action thriller kind of movie with a really cool kind of premise. It's a film that kind of got a mixed reaction, I think, from people. It doesn't really, one of the more lesser known films I think of this year, but I really did enjoy Hotel Artemis. That's why it's number 30. Number 29 would have to be Incredibles 2. Finally, after many years, we got The Incredibles 2, and it did not let down. Incredibles 2 was a lot of fun. Really great Pixar film. Really enjoyed this film a lot. I don't think I need to say more. Incredibles 2 was well worth the wait for after many years. Number 28 would be 12 Strong with Chris Hemsworth. Really pretty solid war movie. I think this one was a really solid one as well. Because I really like Chris Hemsworth a lot. I like some of the other cast members as well. But I really did enjoy this film a lot. Really solid war movie. Number 27 is The Mule. This is one of the new Clint Eastwood film. where Clint Eastwood plays this guy who used to be like an agricultural farmer, but then like his business went up went into the pretty much into the toilet, and it didn't go anywhere, and he lost his business, and he became part of this like drug cartel. He's like driving drugs and across into like in different states. And, he's like a 90-year-old man doing this. And, the cops, DEA agents that are on the case, Bradley Cooper and Lawrence Fishburne. I thought it was just a really great drama film. I think Clint Eastwood does a really good job. And it was also directed by Clint Eastwood. And you have a lot of really cool people in that, too. Bradley Cooper, Clint Eastwood, Lawrence Fishburne. You have a lot of cool people in that film. Really did enjoy The Mule. Number 26 would be Widows. Really great heist kind of like movie. Directed by Steve McQueen. I think that's who it is. I'm going to make sure I'm not messing that up, because sometimes I mess up the director's names. I want to check real quick and make sure it's right. Yeah, Steve McQueen. I want to make sure I got that right. But it's a really great heist movie. Really good cast. Daniel Kaluuya, who was Chris in Get Out. He was also in Black Panther. And he was in the first Sicario. And you have people like Viola Davis, Liam Neeson. So a lot of really great people. And I think it was directed very well by Steve McQueen. I think Widows is a really great heist movie, where these women kind of have to finish out the heist that their husbands couldn't carry out because they were. I'm not going to get into like the whole story, but it's a really great heist movie. Number 25 would have to be The Meg, which I thought was a really fun shark film with Jason Statham, directed by John Turteltaub. Same guy that directed Cool Runnings, Instinct, and Phenomena, and the National Treasure films, did The Meg. And I think this is a really very fun, entertaining shark film with Jason Statham. Also have people like Rainn Wilson, Ruby Rose. You have a couple of other people on there too, but I really did enjoy this film. It was a really very, very fun, entertaining shark film with a lot of fun action. I like Jason Statham as the lead. I kind of like the little friendship that him and the little girl have in the film. I thought that was sweet. I thought that was sweet. I like their bond in the movie, and overall, it's a really fun shark film. Had a lot of fun with the film. Number 24 would have to be Mom and Dad with Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. Very crazy movie where, like, in this world with these parents and these kids, like a horror, like, thriller comedy. I mean, this is probably one of the best Nicolas Cage films I've seen in quite a while, and also another Nicolas Cage film will be popping up later on this list, which I'm going to say. And but I think Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair do a great job. I don't want to spoil too much about it, because I want you to read that up for yourself. But it's a pretty good thriller, kind of like dark movie. But it's a really good one. I think Nicolas Cage gives one of his best performances in quite a while. So, number 23 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Really great stop animation kind of like movie. Or I think, and I think Nicolas Cage was also a voice in this as well. So there's another Nick Cage movie, but that's not the one I was talking about. There's another Nick Cage film later on in this list. But very solid stop animation movie. A lot of fun. I'm not going to say much more about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 22 is Can You Ever Forgive Me with Melissa McCarthy. Which this is one of those films where I really wish Melissa McCarthy would do more movies like this, because instead of just doing like all these like stupid comedies, because like Melissa McCarthy, does really good in comedies when it's done well. Bridesmaids, that's a good one. The Heat, that's another good one. I think St. Vincent was a solid film too, but at the same time though, I hated Tammy. I hated the new Ghostbusters. Should even be called Ghostbusters, to be honest. And I was not a fan of Identity Thief. So I really do. And Melissa McCarthy in this film, I really do think she can do drama stuff, and I really wish she would do more movies like this, because I like to see her more of her dramatic chops. And I think she does it really well in this. And maybe she might get a nod at the Academies for this. Who knows? But I really like this film a lot, because it was a different kind of role for Melissa McCarthy. That's why it's number 22. Number 21 would be Bad Times at the El Royale. Another really fun film with a really good cast. I'm not going to say much more about it, but I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details about any of these movies because I don't want to, go on forever and ever. But I figured, I'd just give my brief thoughts on all these very quickly. But another really fun film. Number 20 would be First Man with Ryan Gosling about the going on the astronaut going on the moon, things like that. It was really one of those films too that kind of came and went. Not many people talked about this film, but I think it's a really good one. Ryan Gosling once again delivers a great performance because I'm a really big fan of Ryan Gosling. Really liked him in Drive and The New Guys with him and Russell Crowe. Blade Runner 2049 he was really good in. So Ryan Gosling has been in a lot of good stuff, and this is another one. Really did like First Man a lot. Really good drama. I think I'm going to stop right here. Yeah, I'll get a couple more in. Why not? I don't want to go for more than 15 minutes because I can only do 15-minute videos. But number 19 would be Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I think is a really solid sequel to the first Ant-Man. This one was a lot of fun as well. Really great comic book movie. Paul Rudd does a great job as Ant-Man. Evangeline Lilly does a great job as the Wasp. You have Michael Douglas. I mean, really solid sequel to Ant-Man. Really did enjoy the film. Number 18 would be Unsane. This is a really great film where basically you have this woman who gets checked into this place because she thinks someone's stalking her that was from her past, but you don't know if she's only seeing it or she's going crazy or it's actually happening. You don't really know. There's a really good twist in there. I don't really want to say much more about Unsane because it's a really great thriller, and if you really like thrillers like that, I recommend you check it out. Number 17 is Game Night. This is a really fun, dark comedy film. You have people like Rachel McAdams, about a bunch of people get together in this house. It kind of reminded me of Clue a little bit, but I like this movie a little bit better than Clue, the movie, because I like Clue, but because Tim Curry in the movie Clue just steals the show in that. I think he's pretty funny in it, but it's kind of like a dark comedy. It's almost like Clue, pretty much. But it's a really fun film with a really good cast. I like Rachel McAdams. Even Jesse Plemons, from Like Mike and among many others, is in this film as well. So I really did enjoy Game Night quite a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop right here for part 1, and I will see you guys in part 2.